What, is Lithuania a racist country though?
Do you know what? Yeah, when I was there, do you know, I think every single country's got a mixture of people.
Yeah, it just depends where you are, innit?
Yeah. So down there, at the time when I was there, when I was living there before I moved to London, there were a few people there were a little bit like funny like that. You know what I'm trying to say? But they weren't like people from. Sometimes they weren't people coming from other countries and do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, so they're not used to, and then obviously now recently,
yeah, and the only like people from other countries we had here and there, maybe some Chinese people in some bigger cities for Chinese food,
Chinese export,
and then maybe like few like black people, African people who played basketball, professional basketball, because Lithuania is known for basketball. They're quite big.
Perfect.
So, and then over the time, I think if I'm correct, I think this is still correct. The capital of Lithuania became the cheapest city in the Europe to get the university degrees.
No way.
So loads of international students, they start flooding to the capital. But other parts of Lithuania didn't become as diverse as that. But yeah, it's an interesting place, man. It's an interesting place.
People recommended me going there, to be fair.
I think Blackman's looking to go there.
Yeah, he is. He's looking to do that. No, he went Belarus, bro. No, he went Belarus. He did Belarus, Serbia, Romania. All those like not even Balkan states, but like certain parts of Eastern Europe, Central Europe.
I think he was planning to go in December. I think he wrote something on his Insta saying
he was.
Yeah. Latvia, Estonia, like Lithuania,
correct. You're right. Yeah, he was, but he took a detour because he actually met a couple of vloggers whilst traveling, and they were like, "Right, we're going to Afghanistan. It's safe." So he wanted to blow up over there in Afghanistan. So he's literally just been posted there for about 2.5 weeks now.
He's loving it, man. I've seen it. He's loving it down there.
But I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm scared, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Please book a ticket. When you're booking this ticket, come home. Not even come home, but. You know what I'm saying, bro? Just when you're ready, please leave, innit? Because it's mad volatile out there, bro.
Because do you know what it is? It goes back to that thing of like, there's always like, I feel like there's nice people everywhere in the world, and there's also some really fucked up people. You know what I'm trying to say? So sometimes all it takes is to run into
the messed up individual. Just all the nice things that's happened, the 9 out of 10 situations that's happened, just that 1 out of 10 situations just bring the whole damper on the whole thing.
Yeah, and it can go really left and stuff.
There we are. So I've been speaking to him daily, and he's doing well. Don't get me wrong, he's enjoying it, but I'm like, brother, please, book a ticket. You might as well just head home now. And he's been there just under 2 weeks now. I'm just like, there's no UK embassy. There's no embassies there. The only people that are there are India, Dubai, and Pakistan that recognize that the government currently in Afghanistan. Nowhere else in the world even recognizes it. People it's become like a isolated state or a pariah state. It's like people are not trying to hear it. Oh yeah, you're going there. Wow, okay. Don't get me wrong. What he's doing now is shedding light on a great experience whereby he's having a good time, or he's educating people that is safe and whatnot. But the country's still going through the ramifications of the war that's happened for 20 plus years. You know what I mean? Like the people there were battling the Americans and the coalition for so long. So their way of life is completely changed. But big him up for going out there. Hats off to him, but it's just dangerous, man.
I think his intention is good. So and energy is something that's kind of felt. It's not necessarily described. So I think he comes with a good energy, and I think sometimes navigating the world with that energy is really good anyways.
I totally agree. You see, with Black Man's energy, very positive energy, and the way he comes across is very endearing, understanding. He greets everybody, shows an understanding, and from there people gravitate towards that and are actually warming towards that, and they're curious as well. What's this geezer doing here? What are you doing here? Did you work for somebody? No. They look at his YouTube page. Wow, okay, fair enough. You know what I mean? He's actually backing what he's talking about because he's got the content to show it, so people buy into it, and it's a brand itself now as well, and he's a great individual.
Nah, definitely. But let's get into you, man.
Sure.
So the traditional question is what's the one thing that people should know about you, and how do you get a feeling of importance?
Sure. So the one thing people should know about me, I'm a determined individual. So I don't take no for an answer. I just continuously work, put my head down, grind. And if I don't get what I want, I always find an alternative. And I'm willing to work with other individuals that are like-minded. So I believe in synergy. So I believe in like connections. Like myself, me and you, Leo, I can genuinely say we've got a great connection already because you seem like a well-traveled individual. You show an understanding, and we grew up in the same similar environments. Just a fun fact, guys. Leo went to school with, man. So yeah, he went to first gate Community School.
Yeah, we went to school together,
literally, man. So here we are, the world does a 360. Here we are, 13, 14 years later. Yeah. I'm sitting in this studio and, we're just chopping it up.
I think for me, it was beautiful to see is that, like, people doing positive things in school. And I think from school, when school finished, I think, like, people went loads of different directions. And some people, some people kind of, like, went down a certain path, then turned it completely around. Some people went, like, I just find it so interesting how everyone went to the same place and then everyone just kind of scattered
branched away, yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like, I don't know if it's still living in Newham, but I feel like just because I'm still within Newham, I still get to run into people that,
same,
and it's, I don't know, it's life is a really funny thing. And
definitely, especially when you go to school like Forest Gate Community School. So when we went, it was like a 30% pass rate in regards to 5A to C. So when we were at Forest Gate Community School, so I'm talking from early 2000s, so from 2003 up until about 2010, 2011, that school was probably one of the worst schools in the UK. Yeah. Reason being is there was so much activity. We're talking criminal activity, gang violence, we're talking fights, we're talking, like, I can't explain, like, I'll be going to school and I'm witnessing a robbery.
Bro, we used to have adults coming to our school looking for someone that's in year 10, year 11 because they robbed someone, you know what I'm trying to say? That's how crazy it was.
You'd have like 15-year-olds be in school and people in the early 20s, he robbed my little brother or he robbed this person, and they're jumping over the school barriers and they're fighting each other in the playground or would have police presence. I'd walk out of school and get stopped and searched. I'm like, why are you stopping and searching? I'm 14 in school uniform. Oh, there's reason to believe there was a robbery. I just come out of school. I don't care about the robberies. I'm not doing these robberies, but it was just the fact that the Forest Gate School was notorious for delinquent behaviour. I'm going to call it that.
They used to let us out. They used to let us out for lunch outside of school. Yeah, and like my year used to just basically go and remember there used to be a corner shop. They used to just
Blue
open
shop.
the bag and just ram all the sweets in the bag and just run out.
Sad.
Anyway, eventually, so obviously that shop got terrorized as well, but eventually it got to the point where they stopped us from going out having lunch because they were saying there was too much rubbish being thrown everywhere. People bite pizza, just dash it. There was the kebab shop around the corner.
Literally, £1 chicken and chips, chicken licking, doner meat and chips.
Yo, those were the good days.
Listen, it was £1, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Now I know about health and positive. Now I know about health and dietary plan. That food there, one way to filling up my cholesterol is one way to getting a heart attack. That food was very unhealthy.
Bro, see that school was different. The first day I started going there. So when I moved to this country, I didn't go to school for like a year and a half. Cool. I had to wait till they placed me in a school. And when I started going there, I think it was like halfway through year 9, around that time anyways. My first day I got in a fight.
Oh, what? So what? As soon as you landed in Forest Gate Community School, you were
first, because I was fresh, and you know how it is like when someone's freshy and they'll try to bully someone and all of that. So in my RE class, they I don't know if you remember Foyer, some Asian guy from my year. The man and the other guy, I forgot his name now, but they start dashing paper at me, you know.
Oh wow, okay. Like, so you're like, who's that?
Bitch, me fight after, you know, because I was fresh. I was still like, I still couldn't speak English.
No, listen, I'm stamping my authority now.
Because you know what it is. Don't get me wrong. I didn't want to. I can be fully honest, right? I wasn't on that. I didn't want to do that. But even back home, the way we function is like, if someone tries to like do something, violate you, you have to stand up for yourself.
That's the best way to be as a man, mate.
So the guy was meant to fight. He got shook and he went home.
Oh wow!
And then Foyle was like, I'll fight him instead, didn't I? I remember, that day was crazy. The whole school came out. You know the little alleyway, everyone's there. There's like
Way, what that Way alleyway where the lights are and that the AstroTurf.
Everyone was there, and it's just like everyone's just hyping it up.
Okay,
bro. While I'm about to fight, someone's robbing my bag, bro. Like someone's looking for stuff inside my bag. My
Hungry season in Forest Gate was sad.
I'm like,
Scrabble 20p. You're getting 10 people trying to stamp you out for 20p. It was bad.
That school was crazy.
It was bad.
Anyway, I ended up like punching him up and whatever. Then that's how my school time started.
That's how you got your status. So then people like,
but do you know what was funny? Do you know how fake the school, how fake people were in school? If you don't fight for a period of time after that, like people start losing ratings for you.
That's so
until
true.
something else happens, they go like,
our man's on it. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Yeah.
So it was a that thing. Yeah, man, that school was crazy, man.
It was an experience, man. Mad.
And then my grade, you know what? My grades were like, My grades were bad, bro. I think I must have left with like E's and F's and that. I only done well with maths. Like,
I'll be honest with you. See, first year school, when it came to teaching, there wasn't much teaching going on. So what my parents actually did, they enrolled me into a tutoring session because they were like, listen, by year 9, I was technically failing. They were looking at my grades and they're like, listen, look, if my son fails education, and my parents are from back home, Africa, Uganda, and they believe a lot in education. So they were like, if my son doesn't have an education, he's going to become like a delinquent, he's going to end up in a system. So what they did is they literally enrolled me into a private tuition center in year 9, and then from there on my grades started picking up. So but by the grace of God, actually I left with 9.58 to C's, so it was actually all right. So, but I'm not gonna lie, first year school was a madness. Every other day I was bunking, jumping out. You know what I mean?
Well, was it the fence by the corner?
Yeah. Because that one didn't have anti-climb paint on. All the other fences had anti-climb paint, so you'd get all this black stuff on your clothes. So that one didn't. So we'd climb over. Me and Black Man would climb over and be like, "Yo, what we on today?" Oh yeah. We'd do the dinner runs first, get some change from the dinner runs, and then after that we'd either go Magpie Park or we'd go down to like Leytonstone Way and chill by the park and literally just play football by one stood flats till like 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then police would come and they'd be like, "Oh, are you meant to be in school?" We're like, "Oh yeah, we've got an inset day every other time, inset day." But there
was one time I used to go. There used to be I can't remember the name of it. You know, in East Ham they used to have like a console shop. I'm trying to remember the name, GameStop or something like that. It's closed now. It's not there no more.
It must be the game shop, man. On High Street, on East Ham High Street.
Yeah, on High Street. Yeah. So basically, initially, I bunked off like half a year 10. So obviously during that time, it's like there's nothing else to do. So I'd go there and like play some. You get me? The WWE came out, just playing some games and stuff.
Arcade center.
And basically got to the point they started clocking like, these are school students coming in like, you know what I'm saying, during school
hours.
They start kicking man out. Ooh. So I start putting like change of clothes in my school bag. You get me? But bro, this is man, it's crazy.
But the crazy thing about first year school now, it's done a whole 360. Kids are now going to Oxford, Cambridge and Russell Group unis. I love to see the transition, because when we were going through first year community school it was very rough, very deprived, and it was a sad state it was in. So I think after Miss Wheeler passed away, they did the whole 360 and got a new head teacher, and after that it was the kids started performing, and now look, it's one of the best schools in the country.
I can't lie, Miss Wheeler was I'm sorry that she passed away, but she was done out here, man. She has.
Miss Wheeler passed away when we were like year 10 or year 11. Yeah, you don't remember the big assembly that we had, and they sat us down.
I said no. I wasn't there by then, anyways. I was gone by then, anyways. By the time she passed away, but yeah, nice. It's interesting, man. So just going back to you as well. So how'd you get your feeling of importance?
So I get my feeling of importance supporting people, helping people. So that's one. Development, so being a better individual. So like compare myself. I don't compare myself to another individual. I compare myself with how I was last year to this year. So that's 2. And thirdly, traveling and just having experiences. I like experiencing things. So I'll give you an example. I went to Mexico. I jumped off a cliff. I won't do it again, but that was a mad experience.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's one of them. I was in a water park and they were like, yeah, you should do it. You should do it. Like an idiot. I was just like, do you know what? I'm on holiday. Why not? If I was in the UK, I wouldn't be jumping off any cliffs. I'd be like, listen, look, health and safety regulations, but you know, you're on holiday. You know what I mean? I was wearing what's that thing that keeps you afloat?
The life
safety jacket. Life jacket. So I was wearing a life jacket, jumped off the cliff. I was like, wow, this impact hit my chest. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, you felt that,
yeah. The impact at one point, you know, when you just it was like I was flying, but I've got no control. And when I haven't got any control, it's like I don't want to be in that sort of environment.
Wow, that's so deep, you know.
Yeah, if I've got no control, I don't want to be in that sort of environment, because I'd rather be in control. I know the situation. It's like, you know, when you go to an area or a situation whereby you can just tense, you can feel the animosity. You've got no control. You'd rather just leave there and there. That's how I felt.
Yeah. Nah, do you know what? You said something really powerful though. Because I was working something out, because I done a bungee jump. So it's not the same as a cliff jump, but it's still something. Yeah.
Bungee jump's a lot more serious still.
And but you know
big you up for that. I have to say, big you up for that. I'll be scared.
I can't lie, that was scary. Yeah, the only reason I did it, and I wouldn't do it now. If someone gave me a gift and said, you know, you can bungee jump, I wouldn't do it now. But you know, when I was a bit younger, I was still. I feel like I wasn't as good as drawing my boundaries when I was younger. So someone gave me a present, and I was like, you know what? Because it's a present, I have to do it. But it's not true. I made up a story about having to do it. I didn't have to do anything. But anyway, I've done it. And my reflection on that moment was like, quite a lot of reflection was around, what was it that I didn't really enjoy, or what was it that kind of fucked me up during that experience? And it was that thing of losing control.
Yeah.
And I realized, and you know, there's a lot of moments like, you know, when people go to like Fort Park or something like that, I don't want to go there because that's the time when I lose my control of.
Because, you know, with control, you've got safety. If you've got no control of a situation, you're technically not safe. So as I've got older, I've realized, listen, look, I don't put myself in certain situations. I don't go to certain crowds because there's no control. And the individuals that are going to these sort of places will draw me out of character, or I'll then lose peace of mind and I'll do erratic things, which I'm almost 30 now. I haven't got time to be doing that anymore. You know what I mean? I'm trying to build bridges, ascertain businesses, and just grow as an individual. Because, you know what I'm saying, all the fun, don't get me wrong, we can have fun in that, but all the games and stuff are past now, man. We're at a point in our life where it's all about transition and positivity.
So it's a different level in life. And obviously, life is about balance. You have to enjoy life. And, you know, enjoying life means different things to people. You know, for some people it's partying, for some people it's traveling. It can be many different things. It doesn't just come in one shape or form. But you know what I realized when as I got older as well, especially that we come from a similar background, from a similar area,
No doubt.
is that like the place I was going to, or when I was partying, when I was younger, like someone's getting shot, someone's getting stabbed, like something's going on.
Real talk.
Listen, what was that club? What was that club next
Club
to my road?
19.
Yeah. Listen, I was going there when I was 15, 16, you know.
Well, I was getting there, I was doing there 17, 18. I'm like, I should not be in this sort of environment, but because everyone else was going, I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
I'm witnessing people getting chased out. There's a club called the Spotty Dog. There was on Upton Lane. There's a spot there. I went to a rave there back in 2009. And I've left the rave with my boy, and two youths have approached us. They're like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "I'm from here. Who are you?" They're like, "You're not the guy." I said, "What do you mean I'm not the guy?" So me and my pal literally just walked off now. 10 minutes later, I heard somebody got stabbed.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, that could have been man or my boy. I was like, yo.
Just like that.
East London is not a joke.
No, it's not. And what I realized, what I've learned is that, so when I was going to these places, you know, something always happened and stuff. When I got older now, I started going to different places, and I realized actually a lot of the time is the places we go to.
No doubt.
Because everyone's saying, like, I don't want to go out no more because this and that happens. I'm like, actually, where do you go? Like, what are the places that you visit? Because even then it's, you know, certain things can still happen and whatnot. But usually it's about the atmosphere and the people that are there and whatever. Because if everyone's like going to some house party and everyone's from the ends, like, there's just, you know what I'm trying to say? And
miscommunication, or he looked at me funny. Do you know him? You don't know him? All right, let's go pick on him. Like you see this small-minded mentality. A lot of people in Newham especially are very close-minded. They're not open-minded, or they're not trying to embrace new things. They're just stuck in their ways, and then they'll get hump when you tell them, listen, look, you should try something else, or you should go visit this place. No, man can't even do that, you know. I'm literally just here. This is all I know. I'm like, listen, when I hear that sort of stuff, have a good afternoon, brother, or evening, sis. I'm calling it a day.
You don't waste of time, because usually it's a perspective thing, you know. It's like if someone's locked into looking at things in a certain way, the only way they can get out of it is by, you know, if they're forced to have a different experience, or if they disrupt the usual pattern of living, of how they live, and they do something different.
They embrace something new.
Bit bigger.
There we go. Yeah, because the world is a lot bigger. London's even bigger. You know, I'm saying there's a lot of things going on around the world apart from London, Newham, and all this small-minded behaviour that's going on.
Yeah, definitely. And there's also the last element I wanted to bring to the conversation. It's like, and I realized a lot of the time the place I was going to, it's like, including myself, like a lot of us were coming with like a level of trauma, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I agree. PTSD. I agree.
So and the thing is like, and you put bunch of people in a space and everyone's like already like in a certain
hostile environment. It's
just like a bomb waiting just to go off, you know what I'm trying to say? It's crazy, man.
Yeah, and the saddest thing about it is we all have our own traumas and own sort of PTSDs, but we don't. A lot of people don't have their coping mechanisms, or they'll revert to drink or drugs, or you ask them to see a therapist. I don't need to see a therapist. I'm calm. More time, you're not calm, but it is what it is. You can't really force an individual to see somebody or seek help. At the end of the day, we all got to take accountability for ourselves. We can help people, don't get me wrong, but if people are not willing to take on the help that we're giving them, it's like talking to a brick wall. It just doesn't work out.
Do you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the that quote, like, it takes two sides to build a bridge.
Oof.
You know what I'm trying to say? And I think that's powerful. And usually it's like, you know, if one person doesn't want to build a bridge on their side, it's like there's no bridge that's going to be built.
There we go.
And just talking about because obviously November's like men's mental health month anyways. Obviously being a man, like how do you think, because I don't want to get into this whole like trendy topic and stuff, but there's a big conversation around what's it like being a man in the world currently, and there's been a lot of conversation, but I think it's an important conversation to have, because I think that the stats are, Aladdin, correct me if I'm wrong, I think 80% of suicides are by men.
Wow, that's a deep statistic. I didn't even know that. You've educated me now. Yeah. Thank you. That's very sad to hear. What I'd say as a man is we're loved at a condition. So as a man, you're loved at a condition to provide, protect, and to provide, protect, and to provide and protect. If you don't provide or you don't protect, more time, unfortunately, as a man, you know what I'm saying, you know, your immediate family will love you. Maybe your close friend or two will love you. Yeah. If you've got a partner, lucky enough to have a partner, she may love you. But to an extent, once you lose the urge to provide or you lose the urge to protect, you're really unfortunately by yourself, which is which is sad. That's why a lot of people, especially men, when they go through, I think men when they go through divorces or separations feel it a lot more than women. Reason being is because men tend to hold on to their emotions. They're not as forthcoming or not as open with it due to the fact of being a man. I need to be macho. I don't need to cry. But when men do go through sort of traumas and heartaches, they have the way they cope with certain situations. I wouldn't say it's correct, but I wouldn't say it's incorrect. It's just they don't know how to cope with it, and every man treats the situation differently. But
74.
74. Wow. Yeah.
So still really high.
I got some crazy
facts. That's sad.
I want to read these out because these are insane. So this is mainly UK. 4,639 men took their own life in the UK in 2020, which is crazy because that's like the worst year for everyone.
Yeah, lockdown was bad. Anxiety went through the roof. Depression went through the roof.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it kind of goes off your thing of providing. How can you provide in an environment like that? With that lack of resources to provide, your value becomes
obsolete. Yeah, you're right. Unfortunately,
the rate of suicide in men, 15.4 per 100,000 is over 3 times higher than women, 4.9 per 100,000. Wow. Men aged 45 to 64 have the highest rate of suicide. And suicide is the second biggest cause of deaths in young males, 1 to 19. 1 to 19? 1. My
God.
Yeah, well, that's
1 to 19, what does that mean? 1 to 19?
Age 1 to 19. Between the age of 1 to 19.
How can a 1-year-old commit suicide?
The thing says suicide is the second biggest cause of death in young males.
Must be 1 out of 19 now, or?
Oh, 1 to 19 years old.
Wow, okay.
You sure it's not 1 out of 19?
It says 1 to 19 years old.
That sounds a bit dodged though.
Yeah, the thing is, like, statistics are fascinating and
I did get a lot of kids who come into hospital with mental depression and attempted suicide as well. A lot, and they're young as well, teenagers and all sorts. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think it's the social media effect, isn't it, when it comes to kids?
Definitely is. Social media plays a big part of it, unfortunately. Because anyway, we're trying to be someone that they're not and can't accept being who they are, accepted who they are. And obviously, unfortunately, it's just the way it still works, isn't it? Got a particular way to achieve a particular goal in life sometimes.
Yeah.
To be accepted by a community.
Yeah, you got to put a persona on sometimes, unfortunately. Yeah. And when you put a persona on, you got to live to it. And certain people can't live up to the persona because they're not that individual. And if they do live up to the persona and they get drawn out by it, they get into situations that they can't handle, their head above water, and before you know it, it's sad times.
Do you know what? Yeah, I find it fascinating, and this is me coming. I've transitioned from the point of like pretending to be someone to just kind of like not giving a shit how people receive me. And it's kind of like it's liberating to just go like, you know what, I'm just going to be myself. I find it really fascinating that we struggle to transition from the point of being ourselves to trying to be how we'd want people to receive us. Like, I find it really fascinating. And the social media thing, that's a really good highlight of what that means as well. What's your take on social media as it is at the moment? And how do you feel about social media?
Honestly, I think social media, first off, is a great tool in regards to promoting businesses, promoting yourself, promoting a personal brand, getting yourself out there. You know, it breaks down the borders, the barriers. It makes everything international. We're in a global village. The world's a global village now. If you don't want to admit it, you got to admit it now. The way we were living 10, 15 years ago, before, you know, it's no point living that way, because as we go forward in life, we're gonna need the internet a lot more. We're gonna need social media a lot more. I believe everyone should have a social media presence, but I also believe that we need to have a digital detox, whereby you have a day whereby you either turn off your social medias and you just have a day to sit down and reflect and go out into nature and take in the beauty of nature and the world that's around us. Because I'll be honest with you, you see social media, it will get you succumb to a point whereby you'd be sitting on your phone for 2 hours straight scrolling through. You haven't learned anything, and you just get information overload, and then before you know, this person looks good, how can I look like that person? These times this person's been on Photoshop for the last 3-4 hours editing their pictures and then uploading it. So it's a warped reality, and what people need to realize, social media isn't real life. Go live your life.
But I mean, I agree with you, it's not real life, but it's becoming a very integral part of people's lives. Like, it's like you said, it's getting to the point where, you know, people go like, what's your, you know, if someone applies for a job or someone wants to apply for some funding, they go like, what's your Instagram page? What's your this? What's your that? So it's becoming like part of identity, like in a weird way.
You're right, because I went to America back in 2019. I'll give you a story. So I was going through Heathrow now, and I was going to New York JFK. So I was one of like 3 black people that were on the flight going to JFK. So I know how it goes flying whilst black. So I've gone through the first batch of security. They've put me through the body scanner. No problem. I've gone through that. Then they've announced my name on the tannoy. Could Mr. Kayaa please come to this room? They've come to the room now, and what they've asked me to do is take my shoes off. They've done a swab of my feet, and then they asked me, what do you do for work? And as a professional, I work in the city as an account exec. So they were shocked, and then after that they asked me, what are your social medias? I thought to myself, wow, it's got to a point whereby I'm traveling, the security officer now asking me what my social medias are. So I gave them my LinkedIn, and then everything came through on that. But I thought to myself, social media has really taken over. From time I'm traveling and going abroad, they're asking what my social media is. Mad.
Social identity.
Yeah, mad.
That's
it's the digital footprint. So whatever you post online, just believe it can never be deleted. So be careful what you're putting online. If you're trying to embarrass yourself, just know 10, 15 years from now, your kids are going to see it, and your kids' kids will see it. So be careful what you post online. Keep it positive.
I like that.
Trust me.
Do you know what I was thinking about? And I wanted to ask you this as well. Now, do you think we fully comprehend the potential of the internet?
Honestly, no. Honestly, no. And the reason why we don't comprehend it, because we just don't know where the internet can take us, or we haven't realized the potential of the internet until someone close to us has utilized that opportunity, and then from there on, a spark's hit, and then people it's a bandwagon effect. Unfortunately, someone has to set the trend, and then people follow. And that's what happens. But there's unlimited potential on the internet. You can forget. Listen, I was in Thailand and I met a person. I said, what do you do for work? I'm a digital nomad. I said, what is that? He said, what I do is I work online. I have a marketing campaign online. I type away. I get paid $300-400 a day just to set up a marketing campaign for one company. I said, so what? What do you do for work? He says, all I do is set up my internet, work by an internet cafe from 9 till 3. After that, I get my $300 a day. I'm free to do whatever I want. So I said, technically, you can work anywhere around the world. He said, yeah, if today I decided I want to work here, I can go to Cambodia, I can go to Laos, I can go to South Africa, I can work from the internet. I don't have to be remote in an office. I don't have to go to an office. I'm accountable for myself. I said, after that, I was like, this digital nomad thing is serious.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. Like, I've met people who, when I was in Greece, I met someone who was working from there, and he's from Manchester. Which was really cool. When I was in Lithuania, I met someone who was from Bahamas but was working in Lithuania at that time. Like it's really interesting. But just on the working from home thing, or just working around the world thing, apparently it's starting to have it's got to the point when I was having a 360, so it's starting to have a down effect thing. So a lot of companies are starting to lay off staff. You are like working from home. So I think Facebook's one of them. Meta's just done, I think, 11,000 staff members. I think there's other companies following the kind of the trend as
I
well.
heard Twitter as well. Elon Musk just bought Twitter, and he just said, "Listen, look, Twitter's
Elon Musk
losing
is
4 million a
smoke.
day." Yeah, he was just on different. Like he was like, "Yo, we're losing 4 million a day. Okay, 11,000 people cut."
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Do you know what it is? Twitter was a business that didn't make no money, and apparently people were just like lounging around, just chilling, like, "Hey, this is my day in Twitter." Bro, I'm not making this up. You can go check. You know, it's thing on YouTube. So it was like this kind of like this woke culture sort of company, and I think Elon Musk just saw an opportunity.
Very good opportunity, utilized it.
And he's just he wants to make money. That's the whole conversation itself. Just going back to the internet thing, and I was thinking about this quite a bit, and I want to get your thoughts on it. So not like in America, they got there's this thing like, you know, people campaign against guns, and some people are pro guns. So like and there's the argument of like it's not the guns issue, it's the issue that how people use it. And I think it goes back to internet. It's like, you know, people, is it a tool that's the problem, or is it how people use the tool? Because internet's a tool as well, and it can be a similar comparison.
Okay, what I'd say is I've been down south, so I've got cousins up in Texas, and when I first went to Texas back in 2009, people were carrying guns normally, like AR rifles, MP9s, Glock 9s, 4.5s. I said, whoa, I was taken aback. So I went back there again in 2019. By then I was like 26, I was a grown man.
Sorry, just before Karen, did you behave differently when you saw that? What was it?
What? I had to tell my cousin. I said to my cousin, "Yo, they're just walking around with guns. Like, what's going on?"
No, but what was it like? Was you like,
I was scared. Like on a man-to-man thing. Don't get me wrong. I held my own, but I was a bit apprehensive. I'm like, "Yo, my man's got a Glock and he's just walking around."
You can't really just chat to him like that.
Yeah, bro. Listen, my cousin brought his boy to me, and his boy just bought a gun, and he's like, "Yo, I just bought a gun, man. Check it out. It come in a box. The gun come in like a little safety box. Pulled out the safety box. He's like, yeah, look at the shells. I was like, how much you pay for these shells? He bought 100 shells, which is bullets, for $20. I said, where'd you buy this from? He said, I went to Walmart. I said, you went and bought bullets from Walmart. And Walmart's the Asda equivalent. I said, yo.
That's like Lidl equivalent, bro.
Yeah, I was like, yo.
That's like you go to the Lidl and just buy a gun. Like, yeah, man, got that from Lidl, you know.
I was taken aback. So I said to my man, so look, what? How long you been working with guns for? I was like, I got a gun license. I was like, what? How does it work in Texas? He's like, from the age of 16, you can get a gun license. You basically do a week's training, and then before you know it, because it's an open carry state down south, I'm talking Texas, Florida, Alabama, that whole down south region, you can then carry a gun and walk around. So my cousin's boys are just, yeah, man, we're strapped today, man. But I'm just like, yo, like, what? So you just go shop with strap? Yeah, it's normal as long as you don't pull it out. Like, people just have it on their holster. They've got like a holster. And we went to the gun range just to shoot some guns for fun and that. Like, yeah, it was fun. It was interesting. But at first, being from London, the UK, I was like, yo, like, this is different, man. He's like, and then I was like, what? Are you not used to this? He's like, yeah, man, we're in Texas. Everything in Texas is big and wild. We're in Texas, yo. I'm like, okay. He's like, yo, this is not London, yo. This is Texas.
But people in States think they just eat, drink tea and eat crumpets anyways.
Yeah, they don't take us seriously. Do you know the Queen? Do you know the Queen? Rest in peace, the Queen. But do you know the Queen? No, I do not know the Queen. And no, I do not read newspapers on the toilet. I've never been to Harry Potter, and Harry Potter is not real.
Harry Potter is a fiction, bro. Like, what's that got to do with the UK? But I heard, I obviously, because you've been there, you can tell me anyways. Yeah. But apparently in Texas, people don't road rage because everyone's carrying. And if you road rage, someone might just shoot up your car.
Listen, if you go on other people's property in Texas, you're going to get shot at. If you go to neighborhoods that don't know you, the police will either come. I went to a neighborhood, right? Unfortunately, the racism is a bit crazy in Texas, yeah? So there'll be certain neighborhoods, if it's not African American, Latino, or ethnic minority neighborhoods, and I'd say, like, if you're if in Texas, if you're well off and you happen to move to one of the white suburbs, don't get me wrong, they're not racist towards you, but they'll be very apprehensive. So you be in one of the suburbs and that, you'd have to ring your boy or ring your friend, say, listen, look, I'm coming. Is it okay for me to come at a specific time? Because I don't want the police to come, because that's more hostility, and I don't want it to get shot at. So then they'll be like, cool, no problem. Come at this time, at this place, and then we'll take it from there. So what I had to speak to my cousin. I'm like, why are you asking him if it's okay for us to go there? Like, we can't just go, yo, this is Texas, yo. There's certain neighborhoods in Texas where you can't go. Motherfuckers be shooting. I say, I'm not meant to swear, but that's what he said. He's like, yo, like, they be shooting randomly, yo. Like, open carry. carry. He kept saying open carry, and I said, brother, what do you mean open carry? He's like, yo, this is Texas. This is open carry state, so people are obliged. They're legally allowed to just walk around with their Glocks.
And they can display it basically.
Yeah. So, but you're right. In regards to the road rage incidents, he's like, yo, the people don't do road rage there because people are very trigger happy, especially down south.
Yeah, because people got guns, like start beeping, like you get shot at, man.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what my cousin says they do? They wave their gun. You chill out.
Just let you know, like, yo.
That's the warning.
Like, yo, I'm here, bro.
They wave it. So you see it in the rear mirror, they're waving the thing. They say, all right, cool. No problem. No issue today, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to stand off, no issue. But after a while, he's like, you get used to it, man. Like, the mannerisms, the behaviors, he said that with time, you just adapt to the situation at hand. I was like, at first, I was still taken aback. Being from London, people on open carrying, you know what I'm saying? In London, you don't just see guns normally, like, you know what I'm saying? You're not allowed it. So for someone to then come from such a place like London, whereby, you know what I'm saying, it's more knife or fists and that, to then see people just walking around with guns and that, it's normal, going Walmart and got guns on display ready to sell.
But I think if it came to it, I'd rather get shot than stabbed, you know. That's why I think London's worse, man. Because
avoid it all at all costs, man.
No, avoid it all. Obviously, don't even. I think the whole, like, the construct of society needs to change with that aspect in general, anyways. But like, yeah, like in London, people got machetes, swords. It's like it's a whole.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. You see with London's like New York, because I've been to New York as well, yeah. And you see with New York is like London on steroids, whereby everybody's boxed up together in apartments, and they call them apartments condos. I don't know why they call them that. They just call them swanky names. Everyone's all like, you see this. Let's give you an example. You see New York, I'd say is the size of London. But New York has got like 15 million people.
And everything's open all the time.
Yeah, 24/7. You're getting traffic at 3 a.m. In London, you don't get traffic 3 a.m. But in New York, you're getting traffic at 3 a.m. And you're just sitting there. And also in New York, everybody's rude and everybody's hustling, bustling, and the rent's crazy and people just about getting by. London and New York are like sister and brother. It's so similar. And even the violence in regards to knife crime. Yeah, New York love their knife play. Like, they don't play about. Yeah, but I think New York is more extreme than London in regards to the violence and like the whole situation, the living conditions and stuff, the poverty. But yeah, if you've got money, you're living good though. But yeah, London, New York, very similar.
Yeah, America, like I've been watching these. I don't know how I got into it, man. Like, it's been 3 days now, and I'm addicted to the videos. Yeah, basically, I watch these. It's on YouTube. It's called Audit the Audit or something like that. But basically, this guy reviews police camera like footage. So like police, you know, like body cameras and stuff. And he basically goes through the legal process of like them stopping someone or whatever, and it's like, what can people say, what people can't say, all of that stuff. He brings in the law, so it's really addictive because it's very informative. No doubt. Sort of thing. I actually forgot what the point I was going to make on that, because you went off of what you were saying.
You basically were mentioning that the gentleman was looking at people in regards to the police conduct, right?
Yeah, in regards to the police conduct, but I forgot the point I was trying to make with that anyways.
Cool.
I was heading somewhere, but it just left my head. But either way, let's just switch the topic a little bit. One of the things you said you're passionate about is personal development. On that question, one of my favorite questions actually in life in general, not in a podcast environment, but just in general, and how I learn from people, is what are the 3 most important things you've learned in your lifetime so far?
Incorporating gym, minimum three days a week. So the reason why I say gym is because gym gives you an outlet. So, you know, we've got a lot of stresses in life, you know, working, social life, family life, just trying to balance things. When I started going to the gym, I started feeling a lot more calmer, you know, I started feeling a lot more level-headed. So I try to incorporate working out a lot, when I mean minimum 3 times a week. And, you know, you get the dopamine hit, you know what I'm saying? You get like that dopamine hit, and also the fact that you make progress at the gym, whereby, cool, you've been going gym for 2 months. You see the progress from the first day up until like day 60, and that's 2 months in. So I'd say, yeah, first thing I'd say is incorporating gym and healthy lifestyle. I'd say number 2, what I eat. Growing up, I didn't really eat good food. I ate a lot of processed food. I ate a lot of fast food, a lot of chicken and chips, a lot of Dixie, a lot of McDonald's. I didn't realize there's a ramification of eating these sort of saturated fats and all of this stuff that has effect on your cholesterol, on your heart, you know what I mean, on your stomach. It's only later on in life when I started looking into diets and dietary plans. Don't get me wrong, I like fast food because it's very addictive. It tastes nice, yeah. But I try to limit it to at least once a week, if that, you know. So I'd say gym, I'd say diet, and the third one you said in regards to development, isn't it?
Yeah, just like what are the 3 most important things you've learned in your life, like so far?
I'd say continually learning, man. I like to be a student of the world. I like to be a student of the earth and meeting different people, man. I'd say the day you stop learning is the day you literally die. So yeah, man. You know what I mean? If you don't like learning, picking up a book, go meet someone and learn from there.
And it's not like obviously it's not literal death. It's just more like, what would you call it? Spiritual death. It's like when someone,
I'd say mindset death.
Because you know this, because I've seen people like that. I've seen people who don't want to learn no more, and it's just like, and it feels like for them the whole world is just frozen, and they're still alive, but they're kind of dead, if that makes sense. They're physically alive,
but they're very frustrated. They're not really nice to be around because they're always moaning, complaining, because they haven't incorporated learning and taking in the bigger picture. They're still self-centered, thinking of them. Unfortunately, humans are selfish. We're taught to share. So as an individual, you have to go out there and seek knowledge, seek understanding, and seek a better understanding. Seek a better way of living. Because if we are to stick to the complacency of living how we're living or living how our neighbors living, like, bro, of course we're gonna be complaining. Of course we're gonna be angry. Of course we're gonna be frustrated. Because I'll be honest, coming from the sort of predicaments that we're coming from, East London, I'm not saying people don't amount to nothing, but it's just it's hard, isn't it? So you have to find ways of trying to keep yourself grounded, but then learn and educate yourself and don't become frustrated with the process.
Yeah. By the way, since you're from Uganda, was you born here or did you move here?
So I was born and bred here, but my parents came here just after the Civil War. So basically, Uganda had a mad civil war from 1974 up until 1989. Idi Amin, we had.
But
Idi Amin.
there was a guy that was they even called him like the butcher or something.
Yeah, the butcher. That's what Idi Amin. Yeah. This guy was basically a madman. He called himself the last king of Scotland. So what Idi Amin did, is he came through the bush. He come through a guerrilla warfare. So he came through, he marched into Kampala, claimed presidency. The world recognized him, right? So first 3-4 years, he was doing okay, and then after a while the power got to his head, and he did the most drastic thing ever. We've got an Asian minority in our country. They're very productive, they do what they need to do. They were brought over by the Brits during colonization. So they were Ugandan Indians, and what he did, he gave them 10 days to leave the country. What an idiot. So what they did, they held British passports. They left the economy, they left Uganda, and the Ugandan economy flatlined. So they were basically the tailorers, the factory owners, the service economy. So they basically ran the economy, and the rest of the people were workers. So what happened is they had to leave because of his orders. And what happened is he flatlined the economy, messed up the economy. So when my parents were growing up, they were growing up in famine. Like, they were growing in poverty. Like, they're telling me they had to carry 5 litre jelly can waters 5 in the morning before going to school. Every day was rice and beans or pounded yam and beans. Having chicken was a luxury. Having sugar was a luxury. So then my dad said, he came out with a plan. He's like, I've had enough. So in 1989, he said, I've had enough. He was a businessman. He's like, he's had enough, and he met my mum in the city. So he moved to my mum in the city whilst he was on his break, and he said, listen, look, I'm going to London. I'm going to change my life. Do you want to come with me in London? My mum laughed it off, sort of thing, but they exchanged digits and stuff. So when my dad actually did get to London in 1990, he then phoned my mum, said, listen, look, I'll book you a plane ticket to come to the UK, and then from there we can set up a life together. She didn't believe it. When he booked the tickets and stuff, they got here now. They moved into a little small gaff on Gurney Road in Maryland in 1990, and then from there I was born 3 years later, and then after that the rest was history. But every year from when I was from about 5 to about 11, I had to go back to Uganda in the summer to basically refrequent relinquish, well, not relinquish, but show an understanding of my roots. So my parents would send me back there so they'd know where I'm coming from in order for me to know where I'm going, because they were like, listen, look, if you don't know where you're going, you're just going to get lost in this country. You're going to get drawn in and stuff to certain situations and the community around you. So what my mum did is she showed me the baseline of where I'm from, my lineage, my family, my heritage and all of that, my extended cousins and stuff. And from there on, it built my understanding of life. And now I'm touching 30. I respect that. I'm so happy. Reason being is I'm not lost. Like, I really know where I come from, my people and all of that. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not drawn into all these funny stuff that's going on around us. And
you know what I can tell, because I think people from Uganda got a really like close connected community, and it kind of reflects. I've been to some places that Ugandan places, and you can clearly see there's a community there, a strong community. There's interesting 2 facts about Uganda as well. You guys have the second largest lake in the world. Yeah,
Lake Victoria.
Yeah.
You got your thing.
And the other one as well, which is also second in the world, is you guys have the youngest population, like 48% of I think below age of 17. Yeah.
The average age in Uganda is 16. You're right. Yeah. So, and I'll give you another fun fact. The women in Uganda tend to bear up to 4 kids. Minimum 4 kids.
That's, so I heard the average was 5.8 as in per family, 5.8 or something.
You're right. Within that region, So we've got a lot of high birth rate there. And we also have the world's emerging entrepreneurs. So a lot of Ugandans are becoming entrepreneurial because of the economic situation over there. It's really tough out there. If you haven't got any political connections and if you haven't got any sort of qualifications, to really have a stable living out there is very hard. So it's a lot of brain drain. A lot of people leave that country to find better opportunities either in Dubai, the UK, Qatar. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate, but that's how the cookie crumbles.
I heard there's a high rate of unemployment. But I think like anything in life, I think, you know, my country's not the greatest either, and I think everything's. You're
from Lithuania originally, right, Leo?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Do you want to hear, since we both like lived in London, do you want to hear some funny facts about London?
Yeah.
All right. So the first one is, I'll show you the picture after, and people can look it up for people that are listening as well. So did you know that Paddington contains 2 fake houses built to hide a tube line?
I didn't even know that. Paddington Station, yeah. Yeah.
So literally, the apartments, it looks like there's apartments there, but behind it is just a wall, like it's just fake apartments. I'll show you the picture.
It's a facade, yeah?
Yeah, it's a facade. I swear to God.
An illusion.
I swear to God.
Setting us up.
Did you know that Norway has gifted a Christmas tree to London for Trafalgar Square every year since 1947?
Imagine, listen to this. I went to St. James's Square yesterday and I saw the Christmas tree. You look, go check out the Christmas lights. It is litty committee over there.
That's a litty committee. I
the
like
lights.
That.
I was just amazed by the lights.
I like that. Did you know this, that more than half of the underground runs overground?
No way.
Yeah.
You swear that?
So why is it called underground? It should be called overground.
And do you know what? They need to introduce Wi-Fi on all underground lines, because the Jubilee line's done me justice, but all the other lines,
that's the only one, and it cuts off at like Westminster.
You're right, like they should just incorporate for the whole thing.
Yeah, I can't lie. It's not.
It's frustrating.
That says a lot about how we feel about internet, innit?
We're addicted.
But yeah, cool. Let me get on to the next one. Did you know this one blew me away? Yeah. Did you know that Big Ben isn't called Big Ben?
What's it called?
So I'll read this out to you, so I can get it. So I can get politically correct. So everyone thinks that it's called Big Ben, but it's not called Big Ben at all. It's actually called. It's named Elizabeth Tower.
No way.
But Big Ben is the bell within the tower.
Oh wow.
The tower in itself is called Elizabeth Tower.
Yeah.
Big Ben is that bell. Yeah.
Wow,
but they just call it Big Ben.
Big Ben.
Yeah. That's why I was thinking to this day. Alain, did you know that? You knew that?
What? Check you out.
Man. By the way, let me just show you I've got a few more, but let me show you the picture quickly.
Okay. Let's have a look. Oh wow, look, that actually looks like a gaffy. That looks like a nice, it looks like a nice yard. Oh, it's bricks. It's bricks. It's bricks. It looks like a nice house. It's bricks.
That's a joke too.
Yeah. That's bad. That's actually that threw me back. I didn't realize.
All right, this is another one. I think this is my last one, anyways. Did you know, that it's illegal? This one made me laugh. It's illegal to wear a suit of armor in the Houses of Parliament.
A what?
A suit of armor. So, like you used to have knights.
King Henry the Eighth.
Yeah, since 1313.
Wow, that's some outdated law. But you see all them people in Houses of Parliament, they're the biggest crooks of society.
But I was trying to figure out why that's the case. And it must have been a thing of... fuck the government anyways, but sorry, that's
It's sad. What's going on right now? Them men are milking it.
Bro, government's a joke.
Have you seen Liz Truss? She was Prime Minister for 60 days and she gets 100k a year for the rest of her life.
No trust.
100k. There's no trust.
Got no trust. Let me just clarify that.
Hey, listen, the one geezer as well. You see her Chancellor, Kwasi Kwarteng. This guy flatlined the pound. The pound was the same price as the dollar at one point. Bro, that's never happened.
Listen, I don't even think you flatlined it, bro. You know what I think? I genuinely think that some of these people get used as pawns.
Yeah.
And bro, like, look at America, yeah. And this I start thinking about the whole politics in the world and who's in certain positions. Bro, how the fuck is Biden the president of America?
He just about can walk, can't he? Was he 79?
Bro, have you not seen the videos where he forgets what he's talking about? Midway through.
Early forms of dementia.
Don't get me wrong.
There, bro.
Disclaimer, I'm not dissing old people. I've got no problems with him being old. What I have problems with him not being competent because of his age. It's not to do with his age, but his competency. If there was another person who's his age, but he's competent and he doesn't forget half of the shit that he's talking about, then I'm cool with that.
But how are you forgetting things you're talking about? I'm going to give you a fun fact as well. Yeah, people don't hate me, yeah? But you see Donald Trump, he's the only US president out of all the US presidents from the 1700s who never went to war with any country in the world.
Yeah.
And the reason why Donald Trump didn't go to war with anyone in the world, because he can afford not to. The guy's a billionaire. Don't get me wrong, certain policies, his behavior, his mannerisms as an individual, I totally disregard, I dislike, you know what I mean? But the fact that he didn't go to war with any country out of all the US presidents from the 1700s up until then, big up Donald Trump.
Yeah. But in a weird way, like the war's still happening, it's not happening physically. It's not like actual official, war of the definition. But the war, I think the war's always been happening, just in different ways. Economic wars, and they try to play these political games on who's gonna benefit, how they're gonna benefit, and it's been going on. Which I don't know. I think, do you know what it is? The more I feel like I've done like a whole full cycle where when I was younger, I used to look into conspiracy theories. And I said, what doesn't benefit me, I'm going to stop looking into them. Then, as of lately, I don't look into conspiracy theories, but I do my research.
Yeah,
and I do, I look at the facts and I look at what's going on. I'm like, holy shit, like, there's things that's being manipulated and they're doing certain things for certain reasons, like the Taiwan thing, Taiwan and China.
Yeah, what's going on with that? How they got a standoff?
Yeah, so but this is the interesting thing. But then I looked into it, and America was like, oh, if if this happens, if China invades, we go to war, all of this stuff, all of this shit, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I was thinking, like, why is that? So I started doing my research, and apparently Taiwan produces 90% of the world's chips, like electronic chips.
Yeah, for cars.
It's a fact. You can go look it up. It's a fact.
Okay.
And I was thinking, actually, so the whole moral doing good for someone doesn't even exist.
No.
It's just there's
a favor.
There's a gain that they're looking at. How it benefits them. And as of recently, they started creating their own manufacturers for chips in America and in Europe because they realize if China does actually invade or they reunite or whatever, that those chips are gone because they don't want to go to war with them. They can't go to war with them.
No, not with China. Not with China or Russia. America aren't ready for that. I'll be honest. People don't deny the truth. People, you see, Russia, China, India. These are superpowers, man. Yeah. They've got the manpower as well as the nuclear capabilities. So the world can't afford for them to have a standoff.
How do you feel about the world, and what state do you think the world is in
at the moment?
I always like asking that.
You see, the world. There's a lot of geographic political affairs going on. So what it is there's a lot of stuff going on in different parts of the world. Like America tried to unify the world, but as humans, we can't all be unified. We all have our tribes, our way of life, our way of understanding. So what I see in the world is we're going through a transition phase in the world. Yeah, we're going through I'd say the third industrial revolution, whereby we're going through from service sector to now everything being online and technology now taking over. So technology is gonna play a major part. So in regards to like global warfare, so you're gonna have a lot of internet being shut down. You're gonna have a lot of telecommunications, like phones being shut down, sort of thing. And there's gonna be a lot of propaganda. The media's gonna play even bigger effect, because what the media is gonna do is push its own narrative, and from there on, the masses are just gonna be like eclipsed by the whatever they read in the news. You see a lot of people, they'll put the news on, the murder, the atrocities, and then they wonder why they're sad. Because you put the news on, all you're seeing is negativity, and people thrive off that. Unfortunately, I don't know why people thrive off the negativity. You put a bit of positivity, that's too positive, I don't want to watch it. But you see someone getting shot, or
positivity is not trendy.
Yeah, it's sad. So I think the world is going in a place whereby we're going through a third industrial revolution. Technology is going to take over, and then you just got to find a way where you find peace and solace for yourself.
And it's you know what? Just going back to the war's been going on. Now it's a war of information. Yeah. That's what it is. And yeah, you're right. I've heard that. I've read an article that if there is some kind of war happening, that China's invested in these satellites that can go up into space and shut down other satellites. Where people can't, so it's all these interesting things, because when technology advances, like things change as well a little bit, But I think I kind of find it sad that the whole world can't get along because of some people's agendas and stuff, and the rest of the population suffers from that.
It's ego, pride, it's money, man.
Yeah, a lot of jealousy as well, isn't it? Jealousy as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just really interesting, man.
We've got metaverse now. That's a whole new word.
What's that, metaverse?
Yeah,
I'm gonna avoid that with the play. I'm gonna avoid that. I'm not ready for that.
Apparently, that's an interesting conversation itself. But apparently, it's not going the direction they kind of wanted it to go. It's not there yet, and I don't know if it's ever gonna get there. I personally, I'm usually pro technology and advancement, but not with that particular thing.
VR and all of this artificial intelligence.
But there's also AR as well. There's AR as augmented reality, and I'm kind of pro AR, because I'm like, AR could be quite kind of cool.
In what regards?
So the difference between virtual reality and augmented reality is, so virtual reality is you put a goggles and you're literally in a different space. Augmented reality is, I'm still within this space, but I can use it for convenience. So for example, let's say I put on these glasses, I'm still seeing everything as the same, but I can make a call where my glasses will project the person I'm talking to. So it's almost like I'm with a person in person. So it's just augmented. That's what's called augmented. So it's still the same reality, but it's just a little bit adjusted.
3D figure sort of thing, yeah?
Yeah, but it's just a little bit adjusted. You can get and it can project loads of different. For example,
holograms.
So another example is, imagine this. This is really cool, by the way. I think it's quite fascinating. So now how usually people would have a computer, and some people, depending on what the profession is, they'll have like 3 monitors. If they're trading or whatever. So you could have glasses. We don't have no monitors on the table. You sit down, you put the glasses on, you can see 3 monitors.
Wow,
that's really cool. You save space, and it's like, I'm trying to say. So there are some, it's really, there are some really cool, there's some really cool things about it. But virtual reality is a whole different. And even some people would say there's pros to virtual reality. You can set up this thing where, like, let's say you're in, let's say set this camera thing up in the football stadium, and they can stream the game while you put on the goggles, and it's like you're sitting in the stadium.
Oh wow! So you feel the atmosphere, the impact, the whole thing.
Yeah, so it's like you're there.
Wow.
So there are like some. I think every innovation's got pros and cons.
Yeah,
but
I totally agree.
But in the world, it's like, what happens if this was a graph? It's like innovation happens so quick, and finding out what it does to after that.
We play catch up. Look at social media. From like 2010 onwards, it's blown up. We're now realizing the effects of social media on the society as a whole, and that's what 10 years later. 11 years later.
Yeah, you understand that this social media is now isolating people as well. It was so isolated. Everyone's using the image, like I said, the profile on Instagram, TikTok, whatever you call it, is an image that you're showing the world, but behind closed doors, you're the opposite person. You're depressed, you're sad, you're happy, but you go extra hard. You go for makeup. You buy the best camera just to make sure you look the best for everyone else around to see you.
Wow.
Same with the metaverse. Is ideally for people to be at home, headset on, headphones in, and talk to people around the world, friends down the road. Apparently, you can experience walking down the road in other countries through the goggles.
Yeah,
So you
nah,
leave your house even to experience stuff.
Yeah, no, that's too
Yeah.
much.
Like
I can't condone that. I can't.
So the thing is, that's already happening though. It's just not happening in virtual reality. So you know all these people that play online games, for example, like GTA.
Yeah.
GTA is a big one, yeah. So in GTA, there's these people that pretend to be these different. So in real life, there's someone else. In line in the game, they build up this avatar of who they are, and they pretend to be like a police officer or something else, and then they role play inside the thing. So it's like there's not much different from if people put on the VR goggles and done the same thing. It's just the tool's different, but the concept's still the same.
Still doing the activity.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, the audit thing, I remembered why I was mentioning it earlier, the cop thing, because there was the guy he exposed one of the salaries for one of the police officers, because you spoke about how much people make in America.
Yeah,
or
crazy.
If someone make
Mad money in America.
111K a year.
In America?
$111K a police officer.
In America?
Yeah, in America.
A police officer?
I don't know about depending on but this one police officer in particular was making 111K, and he was super incompetent because he ended up on this video thing.
Yeah.
And he did his job properly. But 111K, and the guy
That's a lot of money, man.
But you know what I was gonna say with the social media thing, you just remind me of something before we start checking out. Is I took this from a friend of mine. I'm not even gonna shout her out, yeah.
He said intellectual property robbery.
You get me? And there's nothing she can do about it. But she said this really like interesting sentence. So she said, the lows make the story, the highs make the content.
Fucking hell, that's a good concept, innit? Because everyone's got a backstory to what's going on to their success afterwards, innit?
Yeah, the lows make the story, the highs make the content. Because it reminded me when people just post the highs on the thing.
That's true, you know. You see social media as well, so warped reality. Because, as you guys mentioned, a lot of people are going through it. Like, some people ain't even got milk in their fridge these times. They've got LV, red bottoms, and all of that.
Sleeping designer.
Listen to this. I'll give you an example, yeah. I went to someone's house once, yeah. And they'd had red bottoms on, yeah. And then I've gone to their gaff. They don't even have a bed. There's no milk in the fridge. There's barely any water. I said, but you've got over £1,000 on your feet. How come you ain't got a bed or you ain't got any food in your fridge? Oh, you know, man's doing it for the drip. I'm like, whoa. I said, listen. I said, your priority's out the window. Your priority's out the window. I was like, whoa. I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm like, listen, I don't know if you got to sit down and read a book or something, or, you know what I mean, contemplate reality. But you see this image, it's all a facade, man. The trends always change.
The clout is skinning at people. Yeah. Do you know what? I feel like I ain't got an issue with people doing that if they got a certain amount of income and they want to do that. And I feel like when people do it for a social status, I think that's when it becomes an issue rather than something they want to do for themselves. Yeah. And yeah, bro, like you're right. There's people who will look good, but they're not good. I
just see it as a sense of insecurities, to be fair. That's how I see it, as sense of insecurity. I don't judge them, but I just see it as a sense of insecurities. You're insecure if you're spending £1,000 on a pair of shoes, but you don't have a bed or any food in your fridge.
But definitely, I'm coming with empathy, like to you know, I'm coming with a level of empathy, saying that, hey, like you know, like there's some kind of struggle to be accepted. So if anything, you know, let's work. But yeah, so bro,
some people do that fake it to make it thing, and it makes sense if you've got a dream of like being an artist or some sort of entertainer. You know what I mean? You got fake it, wear designer clothes, blend in with this. You know what I mean? But if you have nothing going, you just do it just to entertain people that you talk to from work, or just to make people feel some type of way, that fall down. It makes no sense.
But do you know what? Most people don't give a shit what people wear in music videos. And more time, there's so many music videos now that I don't give a fuck what the video looks like. Yeah, you know, like they make these amazing videos. Some people appreciate that, but I'm like, yo, like I just want to hear the artist, maybe a little bit of a video, and I don't really give a shit what they wear. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if other people, do you lot care? Like, I feel like most people don't.
If they're a talented rapper or a talented artist, I just care about talent. Okay, if you look good, that's a bonus. But more time, I've seen artists that they look good, but they're so poor as an artist, I'd take that off. I don't even care if they're dripped out, or I don't care if they got the fastest car. It's irrelevant, man. It's very negative. I don't want to hear that. But it just depends.
By the way, like right now, when we listen to music, how often you go on YouTube, listen to a song? You go to Spotify, go to iTunes, play a tune, and listen to your headphones. Go on YouTube, listen to podcasts, YouTube videos, those kind of stuff. But for music, probably see that one video once, and that's the one off, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
no, it's true. And you know what? And speaking of fast food, because you mentioned that earlier, that's what music industry's become fast food.
Yeah.
You know, listen to one song, then on to the next one. And then there's so much good music out there. and there's so much good music out there, and it's getting worse. And unfortunately, it's the downside of everyone trying to make music as well. People produce a good song, 3 days later someone else is bringing out a good project.
Yeah, competition
to the next one.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. Even the music industry, man, it's I wouldn't say saturated, but the music industry is a very manipulative
It's
industry.
a finesse, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm hearing people signing 15k deals, 20k deals, and then the tunes are making 3-4 million. How are you signing a 15k deal if your tunes made 3-4 million? Wow, talk about liberties. Like, you might as well just gonna work the job.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Yeah, no, it's sad. You know, it is. I love these artists as well, not educated, or they come in the game hungry and desperate, and then they just take whatever given to them when they don't realize they are the value. Equity and ownership. I always tell everyone this. Equity and ownership is key, because if you own your product and you've got equity in your product, with time, if it's a valuable product, you are going to get paid your residuals in due time. Equity and ownership. Don't sacrifice those two entities, equity and ownership.
Because there's sharks out there, man. They'll take it. They'll take it real quick. If people are naive and they don't have the knowledge, and I think it's a lack of knowledge and experience, because they come in without that, and they just the sharks will see it. They'll be like, yeah, I smell blood.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know is people sign some crazy deals that they can't even get out of for years.
There, wow.
A lot, guys.
Yeah, man. They're just battling back and forth with their label, and these times it's hurting their pockets, it's hurting their creativity. They don't even have creative control. They tell them, yo, make this pop song. This guy wants to make this tune about this. They're like, no, go do a feature of this person. You can't even say no because you've signed the rights away.
Do you know what the biggest finesse is? It's law. The biggest finesse is law. Because you see lawyers will have 50 different ways of describing one thing and twisting it, And if you think about it, the construct of how everything's or what's allowed and what isn't, it's usually due to like the law that's created around it. That's why I find it interesting. And it's like there is that term of like the law of gravity. I mean, the law of gravity. I didn't say it wrong, so I fussed it the wrong way around for a second. And then they say that's a law. That's how it works, and it's just. That's what it means. Like if there's a law, it's how it works, and there's not much we can do about it. Apparently,
there's a lot of loopholes as well. But I just got to know the game very well. Which loopholes you can kind of beat the system a bit.
Definitely. But I feel like I'm getting to the stage now in life where I'm starting to learn all of that. Only now. And there wasn't anyone there to show me or to say like, hey, like
guidance, innit? Yeah, guidance is a big thing, saves you 5-10 years of your life. If you don't have any guidance and you do make your own mistakes, don't get me wrong, we're here to make mistakes and that, but if you've got someone in your corner be able to guide you, to show you the right from wrong, or at least just provide you the extra information, it'll save you a lot of time in life, save you a good 10 years. You know what I mean? Get you in a better position. But such is life. I guess when we all have our own kids and whatnot, we can guide them and say, listen, look, this is the path, this is the situation. Work from there, innit? They can save themselves a lot of time, so they don't get involved in certain situations that we got involved in growing up, and being drawn out or manipulated by the older people or older peers, or trying to impress older peers, sort of thing. Life's just one big experience, isn't it?
No, just on the mistakes, there's a quote I had: so failure inspires winners and defeats losers.
Wow. It's big,
But yeah, bro, let's check out, man. So we've got two things to do before we check out. One is there anything you want to promote?
Yeah, check out my Instagram. That's King Kayaa Media. That's KingKayaa Media. And you can catch me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Yeah, all those social media platforms, so check me out. Also check out Raid Solo, up and coming artist. I currently manage him. Specializes in Afro, swing, hip hop, R&B. So that is Raid Solo. So check him out on Instagram, and also check out Black Man the Traveller. I also manage him. He's gone viral at the moment. He's actually in remote places that you wouldn't even think about. Let's just keep it at that. But literally check his material out. It's going to be thought-provoking and interesting. He's a very funny character, a genuine guy, and he's coming from a place, of how can I say? You see, Newham is a concrete jungle, so he's coming from a place such as Newham, which is a concrete jungle. So make sure to check him out, Blackman the Traveller. You know what I'm saying? He's up next, and now big up Leo, big up Aladdin as well. You know what I'm saying? Rolling the cut. So yeah, man, just quick shout outs.
Yeah, and Blackman, I believe he's making content that he hasn't. I mean, that no one else is making. So
Tell me about it.
I don't think there's. I don't think there's anyone that's. So yeah, I'd highly recommend checking his videos out. And Raid Solo is gonna be on here soon as well, man.
Yeah, no, quick shout out to Raid Solo. Big him up, check his stuff out. You know, he's up and coming now. Conscious rapper, specializing in Afro swing as well. You know, yeah, he's been rapping for a minute, so I've been managing him. So yeah, he's up and coming. So watch his stuff out, man.
Yeah, and the final thing is, what's your message to the world?
Take time, you know, take time. Don't rush into any sort of situations that you can't handle, and take time. Just you know what I mean, look at the bigger picture, man. Don't be too hasty with certain things. Just take time in it, because you know what I mean, when you rush certain things or you try to do things that are not right, and then you get caught out in situations you can't handle, and you're just like, wow, my head's above water now, sort of thing. So yeah, man, take time, and yeah, everything will work out eventually in due course.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good message, man. Yeah, I appreciate you being there, man.
Thanks for having me.
It feels right. Man. It feels like it's yeah, we had to do this, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Thank you. Big up Aladdin and Leo for reaching out as well, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching their things for about a year and a half now, man. You know what I'm saying? They've always got great topics to discuss with their artists and people that come through. So, you know what I'm saying? It's been a pleasure to head on the podcast as well. Thank you.